Welcome to an introduction to Stencyl. I'm going to show you the basics of Stencyl, and then you'll be going through an activity on the website that you bookmarked on the projector. To start off with, this is your Welcome Center. As you can see right here, it says Welcome Center. On the left side will be games and kits. Those are the main ones that you have to worry about. Right now, you notice I have various games. You probably don't have any. To begin with, let me just delete this one right here. You're going to bring in the game I asked you to download from the email. So you're going to go to File, Import Game, and then on your desktop, you should have Project 1 Stencyl, and you're going to open it. And it should look like this. Make sure you open it from your desktop and not from downloads, if not, it's not going to work. Once you've double-clicked on it, you're going to go to your dashboard for this game. To get back to the original selection, make sure you go File, Close Game, and you can save it. Well, you haven't done anything, but you can save it if you want, and then you go back to where all the games are. So let me go back into here. Stencyl is great because it lets you create a game without having to know code. Remember HTML and CSS? Well, now that is all done for you. So, where do you find various things? Well, on the left side are your resources. You got your actors, which is basically your hero. Every game has a hero in it, and every game pretty much has an enemy in it. This is where you're going to find your actors. Here is the actual look of the game. So level 1 has already been created for you. Sounds associated with the game. And then tile set is going to be used to create what's within the scene. So let's start off with the scene. If I double click on the scene, it will open up what we've already created for you. If I go test game, and this takes a little bit of a while to open up, so just have to get used to it, being patient. So here's the game, and right now I can move my hero left and right. Okay, but there's no jumping or anything else, and that's something that you'll be creating in a second. So, how do we create a scene? Well, I'm going to close level 1 off real quick. In the scenes, I can go here. Click here to create a new scene. I'll name this one, for example, level 2, and just press create. And here, now you notice I was telling you about the tile sets. We've got all these different tiles that we can use to create. And as other tab, we got the actors. But let's go with tiles first. So I have my pencil tool selected. And let's see, I'm going to put some grass at the bottom. So I select it, and I can drag across. And there's my grass. Maybe I want, some sky, right? And I can just drag across what I want. Now, my advice to you, though, is to get this grid showing along with snapping. What that does is make sure, okay, that whatever you have goes within a grid and not halfway in between. This is extremely important when you're talking about placing your enemies and such. So for example, actors, if I have my hero and I bring my hero across, see, because I got snapping on, it goes on top. If I did not have snapping on, I could put it halfway between, and that wouldn't be very effective. So with snapping on, I get them exactly where I want. And now I can put, just being level 2, you'd obviously add a few more enemies. Get rid of things if I don't want them. Well, I can take my selection tool here, click on what I want, and press delete. If I want a whole area deleted, I can drag and press delete. Okay, Apple Z obviously brings it back. So let me have a look at how this game works now with my new level 2. Oh, no, because this is level 1. See, I pushed by mistake test game. What I should have done was test scene. And on test scene, we'll make sure it's this one, because we can't get to level 2 yet. We haven't put the code in for that. So here we are. Okay, and you'll notice right now what happens is I can't jump or anything. It just moves. Okay, it just moves the thing. So how does the computer know that we want the hero to move left and right? If I go back to my dashboard and I go to actor types and I select my hero and I double click on him, or her, I guess. Okay, first of all, you get all of these new tabs at the top. that are very important. A couple things to notice right now. Our animations, you'll notice that they look different ways. If you're walking left or walking right, it looks different. Behaviors is, well, how do you want the actor to behave? So for example, we've got a walking behavior, and the move right key, we selected to right. Okay, obviously going up wouldn't make much sense. Moving left. The speed, we can change the speed of how fast we want the actor to move. Okay, and here are the animations again that we talked about. To add a new behavior in the bottom left corner here, I can add a behavior. Okay, and that you'll be looking at in your activity. So just remember, add behaviors down here. You can also remove here. I have this other behavior here. If I didn't have a tile at the bottom of my scene, for example here, if I took this tile away and my actor falls through here, this is saying in my Heroes tab, sorry, that it would die and it would reload the game from the start. All right. Now, a couple of other things that we were worried about. Collisions. This is just basically saying when this hero touches this area of the picture, something is going to happen. Okay. Physics, this is important, but we're pretty much going to set this up for you guys. It's basically if you want gravity, okay, can it be pushed or not? For example, let's say you had a tower. You don't want the tower to be able to be pushed. Okay. And then properties. This one's kind of interesting. Right now, you notice that my group for players, for hero, is called players. If I go back to my dashboard and double click on enemies, if I go to properties, notice this one here. My group for this guy is an enemy. So what does that all mean? If I go to edit groups, my enemy, okay, can collide with players, tiles, and enemies. So you notice that when I tested the game, my enemy got pushed by the player, and when it got connected with another enemy or tile, it stopped. That's all it's saying. Collision groups are very, very important. It's something we'll be looking into more detail later. Just remember that everything has to have its own group to make sense, because if my hero was a player and my enemy was a player, well, then it wouldn't really be an enemy then, right? So just some logic behind that. And right now, there's no behaviors in my enemy. Hence, you will have to add one later for your activity. That is basically it for the introduction. Good luck. Go to the following website where you will start. Let me just bring this over for you. Start this activity. Lesson 1, making your first game. Once you finish all of that, at the bottom, there's an optional activity, which I actually do want you to do. Okay? To find the events page, okay, is if I go to my hero, here's your events. Okay, but in this case, I believe it wants it to be in level 1. Right, so it's in level 1. If you double click in level 1 and you go to events, you will see what you need to add. All right, good luck and show me when you're done.